holidays coming up, I expect you all to buy multiple copies and have them signed. Danny will be signing it after the brief reading here. And so we're opening up with Danny and Blag Dahlia here. Former bandmates of the Dwarves. Not long after I met Danny, he booked a show at my Coca performance space that had the Dwarves and Catbutt. Were you in Catbutt at the time? The Dwarves and Catbutt, Guar, Mudhoney, Dickless, Tad. Oh yeah, and that Nirvana. The Dwarves opened up and they were on their best behavior. They only wrecked about half of this shit. So anyway, without further ado, please join me in welcoming back Danny Bland and Blag Dahlia.
Oh, I'm just thrilled to be here talking to Danny Bland, one of my favorite human beings in the world, and a great, great writer, which came about a little bit later in my relationship with him when he wrote this, which I hope you all will get, In Case We Die. This was a great book in a lot of ways, and what really stuck out for me is that, like, Danny's come to be like a hero of the recovery movement. But if you read this book, he really deeply hates recovery in every right? Every page of this book, isn't it true? Every page of this book is you bitching about recovery.
Well, I want to I handle everything irreverently. Yes, that's irreverently. So it's not even a love-hate relationship because I don't really hate it. I just hate that I have to do it. That's
right.
I'd like to be a normal person.
That's right. Danny got really mad at me once because I had Coke left over from the night before. And that was just a complete sin to him. Like the idea that it survived the night in my pocket was so galling to him.
We went to see a movie at the Neptune back when it was a movie theater in the afternoon, and he's going through his pockets. He goes, "Oh look, there's some cocaine left over from last night." How did that fucking happen?
He got mad. It was like, fuck you. He would have been crawling around on the floor. I might have invented this memory, but I think I saw, if it wasn't Danny, it was one of his roommates crawling near a cat box thinking they saw a piece of dope, right? It was one of those kind of things. So you really should get this book, In Case We Die. And it has, it's got the Sam Peckinpah ending that somebody alludes to here too, and it's very. But this will tell you a lot about Danny, how he approaches life, and he made this great about face, and a few years ago came out with this. I apologize in advance for the awful things I'm going to do, and he sort of discovered the art of haiku, and what's so fascinating is I just got a chance to read this brand new one. We shouldn't be doing this, and there's really a difference between the two. Like you're good getting both of them. Sometimes when people do two books like this, you're like, I can get one of them, I can get the other. I found this one so interesting. Danny, you got to read a couple of these because this was like how he first came into it.
Oh.
The whole haiku thing. So give him one, Danny.
This life may be short, so I'm gonna pack it full of crazy ass shit.
So like he had ones like that, or like this, right? What's the one on the...
I'll put my reading glasses on now. You open your arms, still undaunted by the threat of being eaten.
Yeah, so like, it almost felt to me like he was writing really, really cool haikus, but he was almost kind of playing around with the form, and like just having fun with it. And you kind of got somebody in the early stages of really loving what they were doing and being like, wow, I wrote this autobiography and now I'm going to kind of communicate this way. But then he comes along with this book, and it's a lot, I don't know, dare I say, it's kind of more intimate and sort of closer to you, the actual you,
Sexier.
Which I despise. But like some of these lines, like, cryptic lips tell me the worst thing you've ever done in exchange for mine. I thought that was great. And this one, love creeps up on you, mouth to throat, claws to hips. your would-be assassin. So I almost feel like there's been this change, and you don't always get to see it reflected in people's art, but it feels like something happened over the last couple of years. Like perhaps you became a human being or something. Is there some chance that's what you're doing? What is the difference between this book and the other book to you? What did you?
Well, I don't know anything about poetry, so I've never studied it, but I liked the template of haiku because it's like punk rock, right? You have 3 minutes and 3 chords, and you have to do it. Then you tell the story.
3 minutes? Fuck, that's too minutes.
Yeah, right. 2 minutes, and so I like, but at the same time, there's no rules about grammar, or other than having your syllables in order. There's no rules. You can talk about anything you want. You can put commas in if you want. You can misspell stuff well. So I like the anarchy aspect of that, and I think the difference between the first one and the second one is that I just kind of got better at it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, better at exposing your actual self and not kind of playing with the form, but actually, and I guess this ties in with what you're doing a lot of now, which is sort of somewhat tour managing, but more like keeping fuck-ups from fucking up a lot worse. Would that be a fair way to describe what you do? Yeah.
That's not true. I work with consummate professionals.
Yeah.
That's a dirty lie.
Danny, I've known a lot of junkies in my life. And Danny won't get mad. He wears it proudly. And part of why I love Danny so much is because he was always an interesting junkie. Most junkies just are like a fall asleep, or I'll go through your pockets when you fall asleep. And Danny, there was always some part of him that wanted to keep his humanity. And that's sort of what these books seem like to me. Like, it almost seems like you put in, you got straight, and then you spent a few years getting everybody else straight, and then you turned around and you were like, okay, now I'm going to start communicating. And these books started coming, and they really just keep getting better and better. Like more and more of you is getting exposed here, which, let's hope, yeah. If you ladies hang around all night, you'll expose everything. But, I guess what I'm wondering is like, is there something on the back burner now, like the great American novel, or is
I gotta write another great American novel.
I mean, is this form of poetry like you feel like you found a home now, at least for the moment, or is it?
No, it's totally accidental. Well, I liked doing, and I first started writing it because Jesus Christ, that's loud. When I finished In Case We Die, I didn't have anything to write anymore. I started going crazy, so I started posting haiku on Facebook every day, because it's a writer's exercise. Like, you post a haiku or you write a haiku once a day, every day for a year. But I started posting them, and I didn't tell anybody what I was doing. I just posted haiku, and I got a lot of funny, direct messages like, "Are you okay?" From my sister and from friends. Like, "Are you all right?" But I never did explain what I was doing, but there's a certain, you can do it once a day. It doesn't occupy too much of your time, and you can also, I guess the difference between the first book and this one is I kind of in the novel you expose your guts, to everybody. In haiku, it's vague and personal, but it lets the reader expose their guts, because they have to figure out what it means to them. And you get a lot of notes like, "Fuck you, made me cry on a plane," or "I had to pull over to the side of the road and breathe." Like, why are you reading Facebook while you're driving anyway? I think that. Yeah, because I think for the first book I was kind of going for a laugh a little bit more, and then the second one I'm punching in the nuts.
Right.